This video outlines how to do a machine hem. So we have our sample piece here, and what we're going to do is turn this piece up a small bit, press it and turn it up again, press it and then stitch it, and our stitching will be done on the outside here. The amount you press it would depend on the hem allowance that you have left on your pattern. So that's been pressed up now, 0.5 and 1 centimetre. So this is a very small little machine hem. And now we're going to pin it. I'm going to pin it in the perpendicular direction, perpendicular to the way you'll be sewing. So we'll be sewing down this way. So here we have our hem pinned up and ready to go. So we're going to be machine stitching along the outside of the garment. It's better to stitch on this side because the stitching looks better. The stitching from the bobbin side isn't quite as perfect, and so it's better to leave that to be on the inside. It does mean that you're stitching a bit more blind. In this case with the calico, you can kind of see through it a little bit and see where the edge is, and sometimes with your hand you can feel where the edge is, but really you'll be relying on the marks on your machine there to measure exactly where to sew. So you do want to sew close to the edge, like as in the edge of this that's been folded over. You want to catch and be sure you're stitching along that edge. You don't want to be stitching in the middle there because this could flip out. But you can't see the edge because you are stitching on the right side of the fabric. So you just have to measure and know. For example, in this case, this is 1 centimetre, our hem. So we need to be stitching at about 0.8, so slightly inside of the 1 centimetre mark, maybe 0.9 or 0.8. So I place it there. The 1 centimetre line is there on the machine, and so I'm just by eye really placing the edge of the fabric a millimetre in from there, and then we stitch away. So here we have our finished machine hem. On the outside, you can see on the inside, the stitching is right next to the folded edge there. So this kind of hem would be found in various places on garments, on the hems of shirts and blouses, quite common, particularly summery garments, maybe even dresses, certain types of fabrics, cottons and linens and things like that might have a machine finished edge. It's also associated more with more casual clothing and tends to be a kind of a cheaper option, so it wouldn't be generally speaking a higher end finish. It is good it's good to think about the function of your garment. So machine finished hem is very good for, say, workwear, children's wear, anything it's a very hard wearing hem, so it's good for things like that. So you need to consider your fabric, and you need to consider the function of the garment when you're making your choices about hems.